Good morning, dear friends. My topic of the journal is the evolution of modern agriculture and its future with biotechnology. A discussion of crop biotechnology can best start with by reviewing the conventional agriculture and what humankind has done with the food supply for thousands of years because it creates a context within which to talk about biotechnology. It is important to recognize that we have been genetically modifying the food supply for thousands and thousands of years. We have been using techniques like conventional breeding. The conventional breeding is the traditional breeding methods that we are using for many years, and the radiation breedings and wide crosses to improve the food supply. For decades, plant breeders have had active programs of crossing wild relatives of vegetables varieties with commercially available varieties. The goal is to access different genetic background materials that might provide, for example, disease resistant in varieties that will ultimately become commercialized. It is interesting to compare the original ancestor of corn, teosint, with hybrid seed corn. Teosint has a very small cob with only few kernels. When compared to modern field corn have been achieved using conventional breeding methods. So we can imagine the size of the ancestor of the corn. It is very small with only few kernels, and how we can compare that teosint with the modern corn, and it have been uh, genetically modified now. Radiation is an example which has been using in breeding for several decades. Using a cobalt 60 gamma sources, seeds are irradiated to create mutations in the DNA. Improved varieties are then selected. Since 1970, more than 1,800 different crop varieties have been developed using radiation mutagenesis. It is important to understand that plants improved through conventional genetic modification, including radiation breeding, undergo environmental safety review prior to being used to the marketplace. Traditional breeding versus genetic modification. Genetic engineering of crops became available in the early 1980s as genetic engineering techniques were being perfected. The advantage of genetic engineering is that it allows the transfer of a single gene or a couple of genes in a much more precise, controllable, and predictable way that is achievable with the conventional breeding. Conventional breeding involves the random mixing of the tens and thousands of the genes present in a plant with the tens of thousands of genes present in another plant. In contrast, genetic engineering is much more precise way of improving crops. In the past, it took years of 10 to 15 to introduce a new variety of sweet corn, but in this time, it have been cut half using the tools of genetic engineering. One could ask, why do we need biotechnology when we have been making incredible achievements in our food supply using conventional methods? Over 800 million people face daily hunger. 40% of the world's land used for agriculture is already seriously degraded. In order to meet the nutritional needs of this growing population, cereal population alone will need to increase by 40%. We simply cannot achieve the kinds of yield increases in a sustainable way using traditional methods of breeding. So, biotechnology is an important tool in addition to all of other tools to produce a food supply that will be sustainable in the long run and will be able to meet these needs in the future. Benefits of the genetically modified crops. Almost all the world's major crops are now being improved using genetic engineering, although initial efforts have focused on commodity crops, primarily corn, soybeans, cotton, canola, and potatoes. There are many other crops, including other cereals, grains, and a number of vegetables and fruits that have been improved using genetic engineering. One of the first products of the plant biotechnology was insect-resistant corn. A single gene encoding an insecticidal protein from Bacillus thuringiensis (Bt) was transferred into the corn. The Bt gene confers resistance to the European corn borer, a devastating insect pest. In addition to European corn borer, corn earworm is another problem in the sweet corn, and both need to be controlled. Consumers typically throw away the sweet corn if they find any worms, even though the heavy use of pesticides assures that the worm do not survive more than about an inch down the cob. So, consumers who found worms in their frozen or canned corns are sure to register complaints with the company. To avoid these problems, growers, particularly in the southern states that grow the 2 or 3 crops of corn each year, may spray the sweet corn up to 60 times in a season to control these pests. So, by the adoption of this BT technology, it results in a higher quality of product and significant reduction in the use of pesticides. Although the European corn borer and corn earworm have the word corn in their names, they also affect many other vegetables such as green beans and peppers. The same Bt gene in the field can be transferred into other vegetables and confer resistance to those same or related insect pests. The Bt gene also has been transferred into the cotton. The cotton ball is genetically modified cotton is protected from the cotton boll weevil. This use of genetically modified varieties result in a reduction in the pesticides. The type of crops genetically modified with quality traits and approved of US field test through 2001. Alfalfa, the decreased lignin, delayed ripening. Apple, sugar alcohols increased, altered ripening, carbohydrate metabolism altered. In broccoli, prolonged shelf life. Carrot, improved nutrition. Cotton, improved fiber strength and quality. Papaya, delayed ripening. Pineapple, increased sweetness. Rice, increased starch, altered protein storage, novel protein produced. The second major area of genetic modification is the herbicide tolerance. Herbicide tolerance crops are tolerant to more environment-friendly herbicides, for example glyphosate. Glyphosate and other broad spectrum of herbicides eliminate a wide variety of weeds, so the farmers can use one product instead of several different chemicals. These products also significantly reduce crop injury because they degrade quickly in the soil, so farmers can be less concerned about the crop rotation. The vegetable processing industry would value the same herbicide tolerance in sweet peas. Weeds growing in the pea field are harvested along with the peas. The pea field are frequently contaminated with the nightshade, a weed that has a berry with the same size of the peas, color and density as the peas. When these berries are thermally processed along with these peas, the berries harden and are highly unacceptable to the consumers. Farmers have a hard time eliminating the nightshade from the pea field, so the herbicide tolerant sweet peas would simplify the weed control and improve the final product quality. Farmers have recognized the benefit of the crops biotechnology and have readily adopted it. The use of these crops has resulted in the environmental and also the food safety benefit, including a significant 2.7 million pounds per year reduction in the use of pesticides, and modeling studies indicate that groundwater contamination by herbicides can be significantly reduced when glyphosate tolerant crops are planted. An additional benefit of BT corn is that because the worms cannot form holes in the corn, fungi that can produce toxic mycotoxins, example is the fumonisin, cannot attack the corn, resulting in a cleaner, safer product. This is a graph showing the acres of approved genetically modified crops planted in the worldwide in the year 1996 to 2001. Here we can see in 1996 there was a very negligible increase in the genetically modified crops, but by the 5 to 6 years of the time, the genetically modified crops have been increased by the acres of 140 million acres. The genetically modified crops have been increased. The soybean, corn, cotton, canola are the main crops which are modified by the genetically modified techniques. Next is the safety. Only since the introduction of genetically modified crops have there been requirements to undergo extensive food and environmental safety evaluations prior to the commercialization. For example, breeders have developed via traditional breeding herbicide tolerance and pest-resistant crops that have been grown for more than 20 years. These crops have never undergone any environmental safety testing. The type of risk are the same for genetically modified crops and the conventionally produced crops, and the extensive safety assessments provide equal or greater assurance of safety for genetically modified varieties. The commodity crops have made their way into literally thousands of ingredients used in the processed foods today. Examples of soy derivative ingredients include soybean oil, lecithin, soy protein isolates, and mono and diglycerides. Example of corn derived ingredients includes corn oil, cornstarch, corn flour, corn meal, dextrose, and high fructose corn syrup. It has been estimated that over 70% of all processed food contain at least one ingredient that could have derived from genetically modified soy or corn. The consumer acceptance of labeling. While there is a concern among some Europeans about the genetically modified products, US consumers on the whole appear to be less concerned. The food industry has been collecting consumer sentiment data for over 5 years, and the number of calls about biotechnology to food manufacturers remain very small. According to a recent survey by the International Food Information Council, consumer awareness of genetically modified foods is increasing, with over 74% of consumers are aware or somewhat aware of the genetically modified crops. If unsure consumers and those against the technology are provided a simple explanation of biotechnology, support increases dramatically. Therefore, education is important for the acceptance of this technology. The number one reason about the people support these genetically modified crops is the reduction of the use in the pesticides, and information about this benefit is broader dissemination. Labeling of the genetically modified products is a controversial issue in here. If a consumer are asked what is important to them on a food label, the presence of genetically modified ingredients is not a priority. This may be due to the lack of awareness, but consumers indicate repeatedly that simply labeling product as being genetically modified does not provide enough information. So, it becomes a challenge for the food manufacturers to fit such educational information on a label. Now, most food companies are using genetically modified ingredients for domestic production. While they have confidence in the safety of the product, they lack the confidence in the commodity agriculture's ability to deliver identity preserved ingredients to the peoples. An additional complicating factor is that current GM testing methodologies are inadequate. This lack of reliable methodologies create significant challenges for the food industry. Our current agriculture system lacks separate storage, processing, labeling, and the transportation capabilities because the food processing system has been built at the tail end of the commodity agriculture system. This could result in the potential mislabeling and liability issues. The labeling and identity preservation issues could become irrelevant when the next generation of biotechnology products with the compelling consumer benefits starts appearing. There are some exciting products in the pipeline that will result in the removing allergens from the food and improving taste, texture, aroma, and keeping quality of the fruits and vegetables. Even though golden rice will not be available for 4 to 5 years, The potential nutritional benefits of this product are very significant, particularly in the developing countries. Next is the conclusion. The crops developed via biotechnology have been on the market for only 6 years or to 10 years, but have had an enormous impact on our food supply and on modern agriculture. Unlike the crops developed via traditional breeding, crops developed via biotechnology undergo extensive safety testing. It is notable that while about 70% of the processed foods on the market today in US contain at least one ingredient from a genetically modified there has not been a single documented case of an adverse health experience have been reported. Farmers have recognized the value of these products provided, including the decreased reliance on the pesticides, increased yield, no-till farming practices, and improved product quality. Since their introduction, farmers have continued to increase the plantings of genetically modified crops now. Although some consumers have expressed and continue to express the concerns about the technology, most Americans accept it, particularly when they understand its benefits. Over the next several years, crop biotechnology will be applied to the development of the crops, important to the expanding the populations of the developing world. In addition, crops with enhanced nutritional properties and even containing vaccines will appear for the next 5 to 10 years. So such products should further enhance consumer acceptance of this new technology. So that's about my topic. I hope all of you understood. Thank you.